Sorry about that. Good morning. I think I might be slightly early here. It seems to still say 10:59. So, oh no, there it goes. It goes 11. So not too bad. Hope you had a good weekend. We did. I think we did. We had a good family day on Sunday. That was lovely, and got the best of the weather in the morning. We went out really early actually to avoid the crowds as well. So we were sort of by ourselves in the woods, which is a nice way of doing it. I've tried bread making again. Completely failed yesterday. Nothing rose. So I'm trying it again this morning. So I've actually made the mixture, and I'm hoping that when I finish this live, the mixture will be twice as big. That's the hope. I'm told that gluten-free bread, you see, doesn't rise when you bake. It has to rise beforehand. So let's hope. This is, I'm trying to remember who supplied. David gave me this recipe. It's from Dan Leopard. So I'm hoping it's got lots of ingredients, lots of seeds and flowers and all sorts. So we'll see. I will report back. Helen says it's rising now, but she hasn't looked. She's just trying to bolster my confidence in bread making. So we'll see. What are we talking about today? Bread, preferably, not gluten-free stuff. I will re-energise the gluten-free forum when I get going, because I haven't done much there. So we'll have a look at that again soon. We are looking at leads still, and then on the website we're carrying on with the theme of defence going straight through. So we really are trying to bolster our defence. Probably, I'm afraid to say, for those of you who are finding it tough, with the aim of looking at sort of even worse defence, as it were. Which really means even better defence, but it feels worse when we look at it. But that'll come later, not straight away, goodness knows. I mean, a month of defence is enough, and we will move on after that. What else have we got? Well, I'm going to mention Mallorca, which is the first overseas event that we're promoting. Will and Sylvia are going to be running one in October for us. Let me see if I can find that. Helen was saying I should be able to. I think that's it there. Yeah. So that's going to be in a place that we've been planning to go for some time. I know we've got quite a few on there who've transferred already there, and we are hoping to be having an event next year as well, which I'll be running in April. So that should be fun, both in October and then next year as well. So we're getting excited about launching events, of course. And the last events I'm going to be launching, believe it or not, are the UK ones, and they will be coming soon. As I've been saying, we're going to start with a simple programme of October and November events this year, hopefully in Denham and a few others. And then we're going to do Christmas and New Year, which I am looking forward to. We're not quite launching them yet, just hold your guns there. But yeah, no, we enjoy doing the festive season. So that will be coming about. You can see all of this on the website, of course, and on the holiday part of the website. So I think if you see there, you'll see the 4 different club symbols, which can lead you into various aspects of the website there. And then, of course, the big club for joining the website as well. Before we go on, we've got the charities. So we've got a charity page, you'll notice. Let me just go back to that again. The charity is the Green Club. And I've got one up here because this is actually close to the hearts of one of the people who's in our office, Jessica, who loves her horses. She knows the person who's running one, which is quite soon. It's the 18th of March, so not long. It's an evening event. So, but you can see all of the events up there on the website, and I'm told that this week that we're coming into is the event for simultaneous pairs for, I'm trying to remember it, it's the charity simultaneous, and it is for Cancer Research UK. Cancer Research UK, and I know a few of you are involved with clubs that are running those, but please do send in the details and we can put them up. We've got 3 or 4 on the charity site at the moment, and we're quite happy to take that, whether you are, whether it's live or, oh sorry, I'll come back, apologies. Whether it's live or whether it's online. At the moment, clearly it's all online, okay, but if we do find live ones, who knows, there may be the odd island at the moment. I know the Isle of Man are back back with us, as it were, in terms of being in seclusion. But if you're living in Guernsey or something and you're having a charity event, do tell us, and we can add those on there. And as hopefully soon enough we'll get some live ones as well. And who knows, people will be perhaps wanting both. They'll have live and non-live. Sorry, not non-live, be online. Come on, Bernard. Okay, let's go to, we usually start, I think, with our, let's just see this. We start, of course, with the hand evaluation hand for you to look at, so that we'll come back after the seminar. Those of you on Friday would have seen this one. So you've got a 9 count there, but a bit of meat, I think, is the way I might describe it. So I want you to basically tell me what you think that hand is worth, and then what we will do is put it in an auction and see how that changes the way we feel about the particular hand. Okay, so let's go to the PowerPoint and let's see how we get on there. So I'm going to go back to leads because that's where we are. So we're talking about leads. Last time we had a look at 3-card suits, and funny enough, they might come up again today, because what we're talking about here is partner's suit. Okay, partner's suit. All right, so what do you think? Partner's suit. Someone thinking I'm very late. I think that might be a twisted logic there, but most of the time it's the right suit to lead, and of course we joke about this, most people who give the seminars or whatever, in the sense that, look, if you lead your partner's suit you can't go wrong because it's their fault for bidding it. Okay, well, the key here is I want you to understand the difference between an opening bid and a subsequent bid. Okay, an opening bid and a subsequent bid. So either an overcall. I think we actually, I think one of the lead quizzes from quite recently had an interesting instance where partner had opened a suit and then rebid a suit later in the auction. So when partner has a choice of doing what he does, okay, when partner has a choice of doing what he does, then we trust him for having a good suit. So when partner overcalls, he doesn't have to. But when you open the bidding, you are basically following rules. When you open the bidding, you are basically following rules. You're not opening the bidding because you've got a wonderful suit. If I've got 13 points and 5 hearts to the jack, I'm opening 1 heart. Let's assume I've got a bit of shape, so a singleton somewhere. I'm opening 1 heart. The opponent's outbid me. I'm not necessarily that excited about you leading a heart. Can you see what I mean? But if I choose to overcall, most of the time I make an overcall, I want my partner to lead it. Most of the time I open, I often want partner to lead it, but I don't mind so much there. It's when I make a positive decision to make a bid. So if I overcall, if I make a rebid in a second suit, if it's in a competitive auction, I didn't need to do that. When you open the bidding, you are simply following the rules of your system. And if you've got 5 hearts and 4 diamonds, maybe the 4 diamonds are ace, king, queen, jack, and the 5 hearts are jack to 5, you open 1 heart. Okay, so we'll see that come up. So we're going to lead the normal card. We mentioned that last week, and it is crucial that, okay, that was the tip, I think, last week. Lead the normal card. So follow your normal rules when you're leading your partner's suit. And in fact, someone came up with this one last week, so we're going to have a look at a hand where what about when your partner when you hold the ace in your partner's suit? It's fine against no trumps, you're not worried. What about if it's 4 spades? Maybe your partner's bid hearts, you finish in 4 spades. What do you lead? Ace doubleton is easy, but what about when you haven't got a doubleton? So we'll have a look at that. Okay. So here is a hand. I'm giving you this West hand, and you're going to have it for 2 auctions. Okay, you're going to have it for 2 auctions. Someone there asking the question, how many points does an overcall suggest? Well, generally it doesn't have to. It doesn't show as much as an opening bid, but if it is a weak hand, it will be a good suit. and that is the crucial element. Okay, so if I ever overcall on a weak hand, maybe 7 or 8 points, I'm generally going to have a good suit, and therefore I want you to lead it, and that's the crucial thing. So let's look at 2 auctions. Let's start with this one. The first one, we're going to have your partner bidding. You're not going to do any bidding on this auction. I'm sorry about that for those of you who like to get in, as it were. But let's see how this one goes. 1 heart from your partner, 1 no trump overcall, 3 no trumps from North. Okay. 1 heart, 1 no trump, 3 no trumps. That's the first auction. So I want you to contemplate what you would lead in that auction. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is leave you with the same hand, but I'm going to have this auction. 1 club, 1 heart, 1 no trump, 3 no trumps. Okay. So those are 2 different auctions. I hope everybody's happy with that. So we've had the auction. East has bid 1 heart in both auctions. On one occasion it was East's opening bid, and on the second occasion it was an overcall. Okay. So I'm going to just show you both again. Let's go back to the first one. The first one was 1 heart by East, 1 no trump overcall, 3 no trumps. Okay. And then this second one, as I say, was 1 club, 1 heart overcall, 1 no trump, 3 no trumps. So let's think about what the difference between the auctions is. Well, first and foremost, in this auction here, so the auction we have up in front of us, 1 club, 1 heart, 1 no trump. What does South's 1 no trump bid mean? What does South's 1 no trump bid mean? Well, to be honest, I play it as showing a stopper. Interestingly, those of you who watched the teams last Wednesday, our opponents bid 1 no trump without a stopper. But I think the key here is it doesn't show a brilliant stopper. You know, it usually just shows 1 stopper because it's a weak hand, isn't it? It's 6 to 9 points. So it's nothing spectacular. So he's likely to have 1 stopper. So to me, my partner's made a positive bid of an overcall. He's not got that many points. If the opponents are telling the truth, they've probably got about 25 points. So my partner's maybe got 10 points. I'm going to lead a heart. He should have an entry with it. Bang. Okay, so that for me is easy. All right, that sounds a bit odd, but I think that's an easy lead. If my partner makes an overcall, you are going to have to give me an extraordinarily good reason for not leading his suit. And I cannot see an extraordinarily good reason. Okay, so let's just choose the 8 of hearts. Okay, let's go back to, so we're going to do the 8 of hearts just again. So I went a bit quickly there. 8 of hearts, top of doubleton in your partner's suit. Okay, I hope you're happy with that. We'll look at the hand in a moment. Here's the second one, which was the first one, so I'm confusing myself now. So now we're looking at 1 heart, 1 no trump overcall, 3 no trump. So your partner's opened the bidding, so we're putting in maybe 11 or 12 points. Now, what does a 1 no trump overcall show in this sequence? This is interesting, isn't it? Because although it only promises 1 stopper, a lot of the time South will have 2. And because North's jumped to 3 no trumps when I think the opponents have only got 24, 25 points between them here, partner might have, I suppose, opened on an 11 count. But you would feel that South is minimum for his overcall. And if you're minimum, you're more likely to have more than 1 stopper. That's all I'm thinking. So I'm not so het upon leading the 8 of hearts. Now, I don't mind if you do. It's not per se wrong. But for me, I would look for, I don't know, a mixture between passive and aggressive. So I would choose, I mean, I don't mind a spade lead. The 6 of spades is reasonable, but I think the 10 of diamonds looks as though it's not giving anything away. And there's a fair chance. I don't need a huge amount. I'm just hoping to go through a bit of strength in the North hand or find partner with strength. Okay. And the other element is, you know, well, I mean, we don't really know too much about the opponents, although you'd expect North not to have 4 spades because he might have bid Stayman over 1 no trump. So I'm going to choose the 10 of diamonds, but I do not mind the 6 of spades, and I don't mind the 8 of hearts either. It's just I want you to understand the difference. So let's look at the 2 hands. Okay, so here is the first one, which we've just shown. So this is when your partner opens 1 heart. Okay, now clearly don't forget, I can set these hands, so you know, clearly I'm going to make them so that my lead's going to be the best, okay? But the crucial element here is look at the difference in quality in his hearts and diamonds. Now, if East was asked, okay, East would love to open the bidding this way. Partner, 1 heart, but would you lead a diamond, please? Does that make sense? But unfortunately, we're not really allowed to cheat like that. And our system simply says, well, look, most of the time we open the bidding, we're hoping to finish in the contract. So we're going to open in our longest suit, not our strongest. Length is strength. So East does the right thing. He opens 1 heart. South just has 15 points here. But to be honest, I think Ace King Jack is worth 3 tricks. I'm going to bid 1 no trump. I actually play it as 15 to 18. Some of you might play it as 16 to 18, but I'm still going to overcall 1 no trump with that because I feel that Ace King Jack is worth a trick. Okay, so if I'm on borderline, I'm going to be overcalling 1 no trump when I've got a good stopper. Okay. So I don't mind the 8 of hearts. As you can see, the 8 of hearts declare makes, but you know, your partner can't crucify you for leading it. You're leading his suit. But the thing to bear in mind is he didn't have a choice. I guess it could have gone 1 heart, 1 no trump, overcall pass. If North had bid Stayman 2 clubs, maybe East could have come in with 2 diamonds to say, partner, lead a diamond, okay, which would have been a clever bid. He didn't have the choice. It went 1 no trump, 3 no trumps on this auction. Okay, so remember, you're never going to be punished for leading your partner suit. 90% of the time it's the right thing to do. But understanding the difference between an overcall and an opening bid is quite crucial. So here, I've led the 10 of diamonds. It turns out we make 3 diamond tricks and 2 aces. Okay, and clearly on a heart lead, I've set the hand beautifully so that Declarer would win it, knock out the ace of clubs, and he'd make 4 hearts, 4 clubs, and the ace of diamonds. Okay. As you know, clearly I can make a hand where partner has much better hearts and a heart lead would be best. Okay. All right. It doesn't really matter what East does. I mean, probably ducking the heart lead is right, but obviously a declarer is going to finesse in hearts again later. He's got plenty of entries to get there. Okay, and as I say, it's easy for me to, well, it's relatively easy for me to set these hands. So here, East has chosen to overcall. East has chosen to overcall. Now, if East had Queen to 5 in hearts and King, Queen, Jack to 4 diamonds, if he chooses to overcall 1 heart, that is his fault. And when I lead the 8 of hearts, I'm blaming him. So here I'm leading the 8 of hearts because my partner has made a positive choice of overcalling 1 heart. Remember this hand? North opened 1 club, a 1 heart overcall. South made a good 1 no trump bid. Doesn't need any more than a 1 stopper. As I said, Mick against us, that's obviously the agreement Mick and Sheena had on Wednesday. They don't even need a stopper to bid 1 no trump. Okay, so here I like 1 no trump from South, and North felt the power of his hand is 18 points, but a couple of 10s and a beautiful club suit went straight to 3 no trumps. He doesn't know whether his partner's got 2 stoppers, 1.5 stoppers or whatever. So I think it's a perfectly reasonable auction and it's so important. I get a lot of people who have auctions like this and say, oh, I wouldn't lead hearts. No, they clearly have a great heart stopper. What your opponents are doing is bidding to the best contract and they're just hoping maybe that, that maybe East doesn't have an entry to his hearts or something like that. But here, heart lead and it's 2 off, isn't it? We don't just make our 4 hearts, but we've got 2 aces to go with it. So 3 no trump should go 2 off. Clearly on a diamond lead, that same lead we chose last time, or a spade lead, Declarer is going to comfortably make his 9 tricks. Again, he's got those lovely clubs, okay, and he will develop, he'll knock out the ace of clubs, so no need to play through those ones. So that first 2 hands there are just simply showing the difference between an overcall and an opening bid. That is not to say that if my partner opens a suit, most of the time I'm still going to lead it. So don't feel that you simply just don't do it. It's just, you have the option of a different lead if you prefer. Okay. let's have a look at this one. So again, I'm afraid to say we're not going to be bidding, but that's because our partner's bidding. Partner opens 1 heart. South overcalls 1 spade. And I apologise to those of you who love supporting. Not even I am going to dredge up a bid with that hand. Okay, I'm not going to. All right, Tim's already guessed the contract, so he's leading already. So it's gone 1 heart, 1 spade overcall. North actually now bids 2 hearts. So West has passed. North, to understand this, I probably should have put the pass in. I apologise for that. So West has passed. North has bid 2 hearts, which is alerted. It is a bid of the opponent's suit. It says, partner, I've got a good raise in spades. Let's get it. You know, how good is your overcall? South jumps to 3 spades and North bids 4 spades. So those of you who play the similar style to me, opposite an overcall, when you make a simple supporting bid of 2 spades or 3 spades, you are not showing strength. What North was trying to say is, partner, I've got a decent hand here. Okay, so if you've got a decent overcall, we could maybe have a game on, and that's exactly what's happened. South has said, yes, I have got a decent overcall, and North goes 4 spades. So you're in 4 spades and it's your lead. So Andy's made a good point there. Okay, your partner has had an option in this auction. So 1 heart he opened. North eventually has bid this alerted 2 heart bid. If East had fantastic hearts, he could have doubled that 2 heart bid. So maybe King, Queen, Jack or something like that in hearts. And the key here is there's 2 things to bear in mind. Partner's going to have an entry to his hand, isn't he? He's going to have a high card at some point. If you choose not to lead hearts, your partner can maybe try and work out why. So if I, let's say, lead, I don't mind what you lead here, I would probably choose a trump, and a lot of people are. I'm just looking for safety. And your partner's probably thinking, why has he led a trump? And hopefully he will realise it's because I might have the ace of his suit. And if he puts me with the ace of his suit, bear in mind, he's not going to put me with anything else. Because, of course, I've passed on the first round. So it allows your partner to actually defend this pretty accurately. He's maybe going to put you with the ace. If I lead the ace, I suppose it might work. But your partner, as we've seen, has not promised a great suit here. He simply opened the bidding. Now, again, if he'd overcalled, you might contemplate a heart lead, although I might not. But for an opening bid, he does not have to have anything spectacular. Jack to 5 or something like that, or Jack to 6, anything. It doesn't have. I've given him a good suit on this occasion, as it happens, but he hasn't got the king. And your ace's job is to kill the king. It's the only card you've got, remember. So if you can keep it, and your partner will think to himself, it's odd that my partner's clearly got a weak hand and he hasn't led my suit. And hopefully he'll work out that as soon as he gets the lead, he can maybe switch to hearts. So I'm not going to lead a heart. If I did choose to lead a heart, I would lead the ace. That's important. So, because there's a fair chance that someone's got a singleton here, so it'd be silly to underlead it, okay? Okay. If partner's got the king of hearts, hopefully he will make it and I'll make my ace. It's not that likely that they've got solid trumps and a solid side suit that they can discard on, because that's the only way they're going to get rid of all of those losers. So they'd have to have both of those solid. Remember, your partner's opened the bidding, so he's going to have some strength somewhere. Okay. If partner had really strong hearts, he did have that option of doubling a 2 heart bid, and that's an important option to take. Because if East really wants a heart bid lead, okay, then he could have asked you. So I'm going to choose a trump. I don't even mind if you choose a diamond or a club. I'd prefer a trump there. So let's look at partner's hand. He's got a nice hand. Partner's got a nice hand. And actually, he's got a nice heart suit as well. He could easily have been overcalling hearts. It's a good enough hand to overcall hearts. And it's a very straightforward hand. Okay, if you play the ace of hearts or a small heart for that matter, clearly declarer only loses 3 aces. Okay, so if you play the ace of hearts or a small heart, declarer makes the king of hearts, and you will only make 3 aces. Okay, but clearly I don't underlead an ace against a suit contract, but I don't lead an ace either. Okay, so that ace of hearts, I'm not leading. And once again, not going to go through it because there's no need to it. In a sense, it's a straightforward contract. Okay. All right. If West leads the ace of hearts there, he's given away the tempo. Well, not even a tempo here. Essentially, declarer just simply loses 3 aces. Okay. You can see the auction. I hope you're happy with that. 1 heart from East, as normal. Just a 1 spade over the call. Quite a lot of you will play weak jump overcalls, so that's why the hand is only overcalled 1 spade. If you play strong jump overcalls, you could have done 2 spades there. Look at the North hand though, it's got a lovely hand. Can you see that? You don't just want to be raising to 2 spades on that hand, because I will raise to 2 spades on just 3 or 4 points. So I like North's bid. North saying, partner, I've got a decent hand here. If you're decent, let's go for it. And I think they've bid to a good game. I think they're a little bit unlucky because I would say 80% of the time, East will have the ace of hearts. And if East has got the ace of hearts, of course, South's king of hearts will make, and in fact South is excited. So South will feel a bit aggrieved, and I say 80% of the time East might have the ace. I would say another 10% of the time West will lead the ace. Can you see that? Okay, so what you find is that, you know, clearly I think they're in the right contract, shall we say. So once again, don't forget, we've got this rule against suit contracts, and the rule is we never underlead an ace against a suit contract. And the reason for that is someone could have had a singleton here. Okay, but the other rule is simple as well. We don't generally lead an ace by itself. And because of those 2 rules, we tend not to lead the suit. So even though partners bid hearts, I won't lead it. Now, if partners bid the suit twice, if he's doubled later, or maybe he's overcalled, it's slightly different. Sometimes you'll feel, well, you know, maybe if partner's overcalled, we haven't got so much strength outside, they might have, and maybe they've shown a second suit the opponent. Well, I think we should take our tricks while we can, so I might then do it. Here, I've got no reason. My partner's hearts are really good. They didn't need to be. I could take the Jack 10-9 of hearts and throw them somewhere else in the club suit or something like that. Can you see? Partner has 5 hearts. But if he might have just had queen small, 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 because he's opened the bidding. Remember, when you open the bidding, you're not making a statement about the quality of your suit. You are simply following the rules of your bidding system. It's very, very different to overcalling. Okay, so well done if you chose not to lead the ace of hearts there. Okay, so bear in mind, I've shown you 3 hands, 2 of which we haven't led your partner's suit. That does not give you permission to gratuitously not lead your partner's suit, because most of the time it is the correct thing to do. Please understand that, and particularly those novices out there, essentially stick to leading your partner's suit for the most part. What we're looking at is trying to take ourselves a bit further on, a slightly more advanced look at leading partner's suit. I think is probably the easiest way of putting it. Okay, so let's take a break then. Got a tip coming later, and let's let's go back to our hand of the day. Not the hand of the day. I don't call it that. It is the hand evaluation hand, isn't it? So let's have a look at that. I better just check the configuration. Okay, yeah, that's okay. So what I want you to do is decide what you think about this hand, what kind of strength it's got. Well, it is aceless, someone said that, but I tend to talk about acelessness and tenlessness. Okay, and we are on the site on Fridays talking about tens. We're talking about the power of the 10. We started it last week. It's the 5th part of suit combinations, but the first part of the power 10, I'm going to do 3 of it because I like my 10s. So I'm certainly leading towards 10 here. Okay, I'm certainly leading towards 10 points. So it's 9 high card points, but the term that experts like to use with hands like this is all my high cards are working. So every single vaguely high card is with another one. King 10-9, Jack 10-9, King Queen 9. So the acelessness is a little bit of a worry. I would call it an ordinary 10 points here. Okay, so I'm not going to call it a good. If there was an ace in there as well, so I don't know, call it ace Jack 9 5 of spades, I would probably call it a very good 10. Okay, I would probably call it a very good 10, but here I'm going to call it a 10, and that's the key. So let's have an auction and see how it affects our bidding. So your partner opens a diamond, and you choose to respond 1 heart. Partner rebids a 1-no trump. And of course, clearly I've deliberately set it up so 10 points is a very important amount, because if you evaluate your hand as 10 points, well then of course you believe you can make game. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm putting my partner with 15 to 17, even if you play 15 to 16. Here I'm going for game. Remember, there's no statement in this auction. Some of you will play what's called check back, and if you do, you might do that. We're not looking at that now. Okay, for me, if North had 4 spades, he would have already bid them, and clearly if he had 4 hearts, he would have supported them. Okay, but if you do play check back, that is something you might do. But for me, it's a 3-no trump bid here. Okay, partner, I believe we have the strength for game. So even if my partner has 15 points, I want to be in a game contract. Okay. The reason why check back would be used, James, is some people who play check back, some experts bid 4 diamonds instead in front of 4 spades. Okay, so if they had 16 points, they would open a diamond, we bid 1-no trump, and they would need check back here. Please ignore me if you don't know what that means. Okay, let's just see your partner's hand and see if we're comfortable with it. Again, obviously I can set the hands. It turns out that the 10-9 of hearts are useful, but the other 10s and 9s are not necessarily going to be particularly useful. You've actually got 9 top tricks, haven't you? No, 10. You may well make 10 tricks if the diamonds come in. So you can see that the 10-9 of hearts are crucial here. Okay, and sometimes the other 10s won't be so important. If the diamonds break badly, that 10 of diamonds is going to be important. It gives you more power. Okay, so for me, not too worried about the poor clubs. If it turns out they've got 5 clubs tricks off the top, so be it. Okay, for me, it's all about describing your hand here. And that's a good reason, funnily enough, for not bidding 2 clubs later in the auction, because you don't want them telling each other about the clubs. On this particular occasion, though, the likelihood is, I mean, let's open up the hands just to see where we would have finished. Yeah, the diamonds break, so you will be making 10 tricks off the top anyway. Okay. This is a weak no trump we're playing, so it was a one diamond bid, rebidding 1-no trump to show 15 to 17 in my system. Okay. All right. So let me just quickly change what I need to change. I think that's fine. Okay. I don't know if it is actually, but anyway. All right, let's come back to me. So that was the hand evaluation hand. I hope you're happy with that. We're doing a lot on 10s, and I'm hoping to inspire people about 10s. 10s by themselves, make it 10-2 doubleton and clubs, for example, in the south hand, not interested. I mean, I get vaguely excited, but I'm in a vague excitement. But as soon as those 10s are with other high cards, one of them usually is, and that's why we only add half a point on, as I'll talk about as we go through Friday seminars. You know, I'm not getting super excited about them, but when they're with other high cards, it's surprising. And throw a 9 in the mix as well, and your options become bigger in suits. So again, in hearts, that Jack 10-9 makes you feel very, very confident about the heart suit. Okay. So we're going to come to the tip of the day. Let me just think what we've got on. The offer of the day, I've got to go to that, don't I? So I've just got to show you the offer. We do an offer each week for those that they're in the shop in special offers. The offer this week, I think, is the Q bidding seminar. So those are offered at half price, so that's at £6. And that gives you access to the Q bidding seminar, and you also get the file of the set hands that you can use as well. Okay, so do look at that. That's on our website. And of course, the other offer of the week that we're launching is the Mallorca holiday. So that's the one there. It's the 10th to the 17th. It's a 1-week holiday. And we're hoping to repeat that in 2022 in April. And we'll see how that goes. You can see that you'll be contacting a different company. That it is run through a travel agent called Great Little Escapes, which I know a lot of you will have worked with us before. They've also got the name Tunisia First as well. So then we've been, I think, with them. Now I've got to work this out. I think we've been with them for 17 years. 17 years. Wow. Maybe 18 actually. 2002 possibly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so that's a long time we've been working with them for. So do look at that. And again, you get to that, of course, via the website through the top there, or you can, as a member, you can be in the website and you'll see the holidays on our thing. Okay, so we are looking. Oh, we've got a prize winner, I think. Is that what I'm doing now? Yeah, I've got a prize winner, and the prize winner is Bowie Wiggins. So well done, Bowie. You're going to join me on the 24th of March if you can. It's seat 2. You'll be playing against me. Sally had opted out, Sally Clark, so and she's got her prize. So Barry hopefully is going to join us. I'll send him an email after this. So well done to Barry, and that's our prize set up for Wednesday the 24th. Because that is the last Wednesday of our month, because of the Wednesday the 31st will be part of our Easter holiday. So 24th will be the prize night this night. And a couple of people asking about if we're going to do match point aboard and the equivalent of a pairs teams event, which sounds a bit odd, but the pairs tactics, we'll try and bring that back maybe next month and see if we can do one. It is a lot more pressure, a lot harder work for the players, I will say that. So I'm going to have to encourage them to play. Okay, I think we've got to go to that tip, don't we? So let's go for it. Let me just find this. And the tip of the day. Okay, let's set the tip of the day. Have I got the right one up there? No. Yes, I have. So if partner doubles an artificial bid, he wants you to lead his suit. Very simple. Okay, so if your partner doubles, and you've no idea what it means, if it's an artificial bid, and we've just seen a chance, I mean, you heard me talking about it in the last hand we had, where someone had said quite rightly in the feedback, your partner had chosen not to double an artificial bid. So let me show you an example. Let's look at a simple example. You are sitting west. East opens the bidding with a pass, that's your partner. One no trump from the south. You're going to pass now, and so, okay, so you're just going to pass throughout if that's okay. So one no trump. Two clubs. Double from east. You notice he's a passed hand, so he can't be that excited. Two spades. Four spades. Okay, so there's your auction. So it's got one no trump, two clubs. It was alerted or announced as Stamen. Okay, Stamen. So it is an artificial bid. What on earth is your partner doing? Okay. And I hope that, and it's quite an important thing, this, because you actually get a lot of opportunities to do this. You get a lot of opportunities to double artificial bids, and if you get used to doing it, you also have the opportunity of not doubling an artificial bid. Now that sounds very odd, doesn't it? But what I mean by that is, if I've got a choice of leads, choose a different hand. Let's say East passes throughout and they've had this auction to four spades. If I was choosing between, let's say, a club and a diamond lead, on another hand this is, I would think, well, my partner didn't double clubs, so I'll lead a diamond. Here, my partner has doubled clubs. What is he doing? He's passed already. He can't be that strong. He's trying to give me a message, and that message is, partner, could you lead this suit, please? Okay. Now, again, don't forget, if it is wrong to lead a club, it is your partner's fault. If a diamond lead takes this contract down, it is all your partner's fault. And if he at any point says, why didn't you lead a diamond? You say, your response to that is, I could not. I was not able to, because my hand was actually stuck to the clubs. Now, if you were dealt ace, king, queen, jack of diamonds, or sorry, ace, king of diamonds, you might choose to lead the ace of diamonds first. Okay, that's a slight exception, because it doesn't look as though they're likely to have a void. You'd still be on lead. That's fine. But your partner has made a special effort to make a double here. If it is wrong to lead a club, it is his fault. So if your partner makes a double, I mean, so you can get some unusual ones sometimes over a blackwood bid, 4 no trumps, 5 club response, double, okay? Someone asking if the double needs alerting. It does not need alerting. It is a natural double. It says, partner, I've got clubs. I suppose it will every so often be done on a void, but because it is a lead directing bid, generally you do not need to alert it. Okay, it's because it's the equivalent of a penalty double. East is sort of saying, look, if they finish in clubs, I can probably get them down. Does that make sense? Okay, so you don't need to alert it. You would need to alert it if it showed something other than clubs. So, I don't know, I suppose you could play a system where a double of 2 clubs asks for some other lead. Anyway, let's look at the hand. Okay, so I am going to choose the 5 of clubs. That's important. We discussed this last week. In a no trump contract, you can choose the 6 of clubs lead here. But here you certainly want to choose the 5 just in case your partner needs to know whether to give you a rough or not. Okay, I agree. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to happen enough. Doubling with a void is very risky. It's usually going to be at doubling a blackwood bid. So if it went 4 no trumps, 5 clubs, you might double to ask for a bid. Okay. So let's look at the hand. It may be easier to show you this, I think, on Q+, if that's okay. So I'm going to bring that up. Let's just quickly do that. So I'll just quickly do it on Q+ because I think it's easier. So I'm going to double that. Is everybody happy with the double from East there? Okay, he's got a weak hand, but surely a club lead, looking at his hand, looks as though it's likely to be best. Of course, South could have the king, no problem, but you're still going to develop tricks by leading it. I think it's a nice double. It's relatively safe, okay? South bids 2 spades, just normal over the stamen, and North bids 4 spades. Now, obviously, North's a little bit worried now that the clubs have been doubled. But I think, you know, he's got 13 points. He's sort of got to bid 4 spades anyway. Okay. And as you can see, it's important to lead. There's a little bit to it, because as long as North sort of knows that East has got the club, so he's not going to play. So I'm going to play the 5 of clubs. North plays low there. So the Jack wins the trick. Now it's tricky. There's a lot of clubs higher than the 5. So it's really tricky here. Okay, really tricky here. Sorry, someone asking whether it's alertable. You can ask David Stevenson about this, but it's a double of a non-natural suit bid. It's really important that. I think you'll find a double of a non-natural suit bid is not alertable. Okay, so please check that with David Stevenson's after some of you and put it on there. But a double of a non-natural bid usually should show that suit. So I do not feel it is alertable, but please do check it with David Stevenson if you're worried about it. Okay, that's important. So doubles of natural bid are different. They should be alerted if they're not for takeout, but double of non-natural bids is important. Okay, if they leave 2 clubs in, believe me, you would be happy. Okay, you know, they would go off. They would probably, no, it'd be close. It would be close. I think you'd probably get them down. Anyway, let's get back to the hand. So the Jack of clubs wins the trick. Okay, and I think it's difficult for East now, but because you forced your partner to win, can you see that if you've led the 6 of clubs, East might think, you know, that could be a doubleton. I might try and give partner a rough. Instead, of course, I would feel that most of the time it's not. So you lead anything. It doesn't really matter what you lead. I'd probably choose a diamond. Okay. If the opponents ask for the explanation, you just say it's natural. Partner's got clubs. Okay. So there's nothing complicated about a double of it's a bit like a double of a transfer. When they bid 2 diamonds as a transfer, they're not showing diamonds. So we have a free bid. The next hand's going to bid hearts. So I'm going to lead the diamond here. Okay. They're going to draw trumps, and the key is, I don't think there's too much to play. Your partner's going to get the lead with the ace of hearts, isn't he? Okay, I like that. Okay, I think the declare is a computer, so doesn't declares a computer, so doesn't tend to false card, but a human declare would do better to follow with the 8. But the thing is, then declare is going to put you with longer. The defence are going to put you with longer length in their suit. So the king of spades, declare will draw trumps, and partner's going to get the ace of hearts. Okay, so I'll just do it quickly. Sorry, let's just do it. We might as well play it out so everybody is comfortable to see it. He's got to lead a heart, and he knows what to do. He wins the ace and then plays a club through. Okay, and that's the end of that. Okay, so that would be down. Just to show you, let's just claim that. I'll just show you the. If you don't lead a club, you do get the chance to switch to clubs, but you need to lead clubs twice. Okay, you need to lead clubs twice. Okay, and that's the key. You lead it first and then again, because declare very cleverly ducked the first club, and if he does, so if you haven't led a club, let's say you lead the queen of diamonds, which is a perfectly good lead. If there hadn't been a double, the queen of diamonds is what I'd have led. But now we win the ace of hearts, we switch to clubs, but unfortunately our partner can only make the jack and the ace. Okay. Okay, so just to remind you of that, there's the hand there. Sorry, that's wrong. Just to make sure you can see that. So a very nice bid by East there. Okay, and these kind of bids, the opportunities to make them come up quite frequently. You would be surprised, they really do. Particularly one no trump, pass, transfers and statement. There's a lot of artificial bids going on, so you have the opportunity to make a statement to your partner. Sometimes it will be to compete for the board. So if partner, sometimes West will be sitting with 5 clubs there and think, oh well, if you've got clubs, I'll push on. Okay, which is perfectly reasonable. You can push in a competitive hand. You can end up pushing them from the 2 level to the 3 level, which of course we love to do. Here, East is thinking, well, look, if my partner leads anything else, the chances are it's not going to work out well. It turns out West has Queen Jack 10 of diamonds, but if West had bare honours, the last thing you would want is a lead in diamonds or hearts. So a club lead looks like it's likely to be the best lead, even if South had the king of clubs. Can you see that? Yep, so let's say change East's diamonds to, clubs to diamonds. If the auction had started 1 no trump, transfer to diamonds, so 2 diamonds. If East held ace, queen, jack to 4 diamonds, he would have doubled again. Okay, you know, because it's a free bid. South is just about to bid 2 hearts. And interestingly, Pat was there saying, oh, would you redouble the double to show something? You can do, but how often does it come up, and are you going to remember as a partnership? So in a way, your double is giving the opponents a free bid, but we never use them because we never think about using them. Now, some of you will, I'm sure some in regular partnerships will have an agreement that if they double our artificial bid, we will do all sorts of things. We'll redouble to show one thing, we will pass for another, and we'll bid the suit that we were going to anyway. Do you know what I mean? So there are options. Okay, all right. You can, if you had ace king 9, just ace king 9, I think it's reasonable to double. It's obviously there's the risk that partner might bid on, but you know it's such a good lead. Remember when your left-hand opponent, when South opens 1 no trump, almost always South is going to play the contract. So you're pretty sure as East that your partner's going to be on lead. Can you see? All right. So you're pretty sure that your partner's going to be on lead. In other auctions, it can be different. Okay. So another example, as I said, is that your opponents are in a slam, going towards a slam. They bid 4 no trumps. The partner responds 5 clubs to show something. You might double that to say, I want a club lead. Now, if it asks for a club, it is not alertable. It is not alertable. Okay, but if it asks for a lead of a different suit, it is. Okay, so a double of an artificial bid, which is simply saying I've got that bid, is even if it's a void. So if you were doubling 5 clubs because you had a void, clearly they know that you're not doubling to play in it. It would be a bit of a risk to double with a void though, because as someone has said, you might end it up that. This is called a lead directing double. A lead directing double, but it's regarded generally as relatively natural. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. So sorry, that was supposed to be a nice and simple tip, but we went to the realms a bit further than I expected. So at the novice level, what I'm saying to you is this: if your partner does something you don't understand, he's doubling something, you think, why is he doubling that? You know, they haven't, it's not even a natural suit. Just understand that they're wanting you to lead the suit. Okay. Okay, and if you use a double in a more complicated way, Brian there is suggesting one way you can, it would be alertable. So if your double of a suit asks for a completely different suit, that would be completely and utterly alertable. Okay. All right, but please do ask David about these. That's what David's there for. He'll probably moan at me for sending a few of you there, but we've got someone, David Stevenson, on our site who's there to in his forum to take any questions about alerting, directing, and any questions about length of time, obnoxious opponents, wonderful opponents who you'd like the phone number of. You can ask David and he will supply you with all those details, of course. I think I might be exaggerating there. Okay, I think we've pretty much covered what we were covering today. We've got those charity events. We've got the bread that I am sure has risen to twice the height that I will report back on this. Let's hope the bidding quiz is just about to appear. So let's get that up. The bidding quiz is there. Let's have a look. One spade from your partner, pass. And I think you've got a rather nice hand there. So a quandary, but it's game all. I've given it both sides vulnerable. One spade from your partner, pass, and it's your response. Remember, you can see it on the site as a member, but you can also see it as a non-member. Okay, no, I'm afraid this is just making bread with your own hands here. Pam mentioning, don't forget you've got the charity event on the 22nd. So do, and you can see the details of that. Remember, do have a look, because we know that a lot of charities are suffering with regard to lack of support. So do bear that in mind. And we know that Bridge is one of their best fundraisers, and hopefully we'll be back to live events soon enough. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to look at defence closer. And William, if the bread works, I will be posting it. If it works, if it fails for the second time, I'll get back to David and then he can give me some tips. So I hope you enjoy the week. Hopefully see some of you for the teams on Wednesday, and some of you maybe for the Friday seminar. Don't forget, that's the Power of the 10, number 2. Okay, and don't forget our holidays. Thanks very much, and see you soon.